As we go a little something like this, 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 like this.
Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all hear that? I think it's time for the black Brotherhood Squadcast. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all to the Black Brotherhood Squadcast. I am your host, DJ Gemini. Along with my prestigious panelists, Yancy, Nev, Holiday, and Magic. The black Brotherhood. All right, gents and gentles, we got something for your mental. The OJs once said, you got to give the people what they want. And that's when we come in to save the day, the Black Brotherhood Squadcast way. I am your host and moderator, DJ Gemini, joined by my brothers from another mother, Yancy, Nev, Holiday, and Magic. But also we got a special guest in the house today, a special guest that I've been strongly anticipating on having on the show for about a week or so. Certified by ISSA, that's International Sports Science Association, personal trainer. I give you Mr. Khalid Shakur.
You don't get that introduction system anywhere, yo.
Hey, I felt like I was in Blair Fieldhouse for a second.
No
doubt. Proud of the things that you're doing, bro. Proud of you, man.
Oh, yeah, thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate that warm welcome. Thank you for having me.
No problem. We know you're eager to be here, and we're happy that you are here. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, gents and gentles. Our first topic on the Black Brotherhood Squadcast today is my health is my wealth. We're going to talk about how health is the very backbone of all in which we do in regards to life, the importance of good health, diet, and exercise. Also in the high risk health complications that are experienced by minorities due to poor or lackluster unhealthy lifestyles. Holiday, you are first up on my health is my wealth.
I must say, I wish this was something that, especially in our community, that was taught at a younger age. My health as a youth was dictated by my taste. What tasted good was what I ate, and that was going to be healthy enough for me. So, so it led to, the complications like I have today. Many of you do know me. For those that don't, I have diabetes. I was borderline diabetic since the early 90s, was able to control it until I turned 40. All the, quick exercise and things I used to do to get it under control no longer worked, and I haven't been able to reverse it since. Had me on my deathbed in that year, and later real sick again in 2018. So it is a struggle. Like I said, if we were trained earlier on what to eat and how to develop our bodies and the good that it would do for us and prolonging our life and just feeling better and the things you'd want to do daily, I think it'd be very helpful. But it's nothing that you learn early. You develop a lot of bad habits. You're addicted to sugar, one of the worst drugs you can have for your body. So, like I said, if this was something that we taught to our youth early and really emphasized, and like when you go to the grocery store, they tell you later, I learned later, for my diabetes classes, that, we really should shop on they call it outside of the aisle. That's where the fresh foods are at. Up and down the aisles, the canned foods and box foods with all the preservatives and sodium in them is not good for us. But those are things that you kind of live on. Now, unfortunately, some people can't afford more than the canned foods. And, I wish we could help them too. But education at a younger age, I think, will really help us in our health and our community and prolong our life expectancy.
Absolutely. And Holiday, I greatly appreciate you sharing your personal experience, with your health battles and everything. We're glad you're doing what you need to do to be here. So, props to you. That's real.
Thank you. Trying to hang around.
No problem. All right. I said that Nev was second, but it's actually Magic. So I hope you on point, baby.
Yeah. Health to me is very important. Rich just stated out. It would be nice if we could learn be more educated at an early age. That definitely comes from being good parents or family members to our kids that are young, and not only telling them what's good healthy things to eat, but also teaching them how to eat healthy things and being healthy in general, like washing your hands, like we're doing now during the COVID. We're being more healthy and washing our hands and being clean, and then also working out, being active is also part of your health. So it's a lot within trying to be healthy, where people are just having meltdowns, and there's more awareness of it now, but we're not like Richard was saying. To me, I wish I just think we need to do better as people, and especially as family and friends. Luckily, I was able to. My mom is a great, she eats sports where people are just having meltdowns, and there's more awareness of it now, but we're not like Richard was saying. To me, I wish I just think we need to do better as people, and especially as family and friends. Luckily, I was able to. My mom is a great, she eats good, and she, we used to eat a lot of bad stuff, but she changed over to being a vegetarian. So I was introduced to, eating good foods, even though I don't do that now myself. I have times where I eat good and times where, like Richard said, I like to eat bad things. I eat bad foods. But this health is very important. And I'm just going to end it with saying, we need to be more aware, and we need to find a way to get our society to stop worrying about money and stop worrying about trying to get us into a more healthier lifestyle conditions for everyone, and not just where you have to stay. Because to me, I feel like it's a struggle to be healthy. You gotta mentally block everything out and just focus on being healthy in general, and that shouldn't be the case. You should just be able to look over your shoulder and see healthiness. Look over your other shoulder and see healthiness, and then it would be natural. It'd be easy. It'd be like everybody liking a rap song. It'd just be simple.
Right, absolutely. Just to piggyback on you real quick, Magic, mental health, which you kind of alluded to, is real serious in this day and age. Many years ago, people would just denounce you or dismiss you as just being crazy, or you had a screw loose, or whatever the case may be. But, now that we know better, we should be doing better. So mental health is real. It's like the Simone Biles situation. You got a lot of people criticizing her right now for pulling out of the Olympics, because, she's basically going through, a mental health challenge. Same thing with Naomi Osaka when she pulled out of the tennis tournament. So I'm glad you spoke on that. But Khalid, I love to hear what you got to say. Been waiting on this. Go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah, thank you for having me again. I appreciate the opportunity to come on this Black Brotherhood podcast and talk about this. I can talk about this all day. I talk about this probably every time I'm out with friends or on a date or something. It always comes up, what I think about nutrition and fitness. And so, like, for me, it all started with my parents. I grew up with my mom, and my mom was a health freak to the point where I didn't like my mother. Why are we eating this shit, yo? Like, what is this, yo? Why does juice taste like this? This is not real juice, man. Like, what the fuck? But I learned to appreciate it, right? And I was always in activities and things like that. But she always told me the story, like the reason why she became healthy is because, she grew up in the South. She grew up in North Carolina, High Point, North Carolina, first capital of the world. And when she moved to DC, she was, eating bad, and she developed a boil on her body, filled a pus, and she realized it came from the food she ate. And so she just changed her diet, and as when she had kids, she just started to incorporate those types of things with us, which became a struggle. And I didn't eat like that all the time. Like when I was growing up, Peter Sub Shop was my spot. Fried rice.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Chicken and mumbo.
You got it.
You know what I'm saying? Burgers and fries all the time whenever I get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But as I started to get older and learn the consequences of eating like that, like you said earlier, I think Marcus says as you get older, you if you know better, you do better. And so that's what I started to do. It's not just about, for me, it's not just about just my physical activity and my nutrition, even though I feel like nutrition is a huge part of like keeping a healthy composition.
Mm-hmm.
But it all starts with your mental health, in my opinion. If we have a compromised mental health, then we're going to succumb to like eating bad or cope with, we're going to cope with stuff differently. So like we'll cope with our stress levels by eating bad or smoking cigarettes or drinking alcohol or doing some type of drugs or having sex or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how we, as human beings, cope with stresses. When we are able to cope with our stresses in a healthy way, then a lot of that stuff will be eliminated. And a lot of other health issues will be eliminated. Like, say, for example, somebody's diabetes or their risk of cancer or their excessive body fat. You know what I'm saying? Or their lack of interest in exercise. I ain't feeling too. I ain't gonna exercise. All that plays a part. Like the mental health plays a part, right. And then there's somebody having the motivation and the energy to do what. I see a therapist once a week. I have to. Before the pandemic, I was in a bad way. I was 285 pounds. All my levels, my blood levels and my cholesterol levels and my protein level, all them things were skyrocketing. I was dying slowly. Right. Right. And I got COVID. I had COVID. I was in the hospital for 9 days with COVID. They thought I was going to die. All right. It was like, Mr. Shakur, make sure you have your will ready in case you don't make it. Huh? Wow. What? What you make it? I'm leaving tomorrow. This is a visit. You give me some oxygen, I'll be all right. You know, to suck on something and get this fluid out, but you gonna give me some medicine, it'll be good. Right? No, that didn't happen. I did it for 9 days, and it was the worst ever. The worst ever. It was worse when I even got out. When I got out of the hospital, I started having migraines. My kidney was hurting. I was passing out on the couch. I took 2 steps into my apartment. I was passing out on the floor. So like my point is that all of that, like that's all that extra weight and that me getting COVID because of extra weight and my compromised immune system, all that happened because I had a bad divorce. Right. Right. So the bad divorce for me caused a lot of these mental health issues, which caused me not to want to exercise, which caused me not want to eat right, which caused me to, do other things. Right. And so when I was able to bring myself out of that fog and then reach out for help, then a lot of these other things started to change. I think with us in our community, what happens is it's taboo for blacks to go see a therapist or a psychiatrist. Oh man, your grandfather went through that. You good? Look at him. Your grandmother did the same shit, boy. Like, man, look, this is a part of the heritage. No, Ma, it's not. No, it's not. That's a problem. We need to address that now so my child and her children don't have to go through the same thing. It's not taboo for us to talk to people about what's going on out here because, you know, I may talk to Richard Yancey, you know, DJ Jim, I may talk to y'all every day, right? But y'all may not have the language I need in order to process what I need to process in order to get out of whatever funk I'm in.
Absolutely.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell me your life experiences, fine. You know what I'm saying? You can agree with, and I don't need nobody agreeing with me all the goddamn time either, man. You gotta hold me accountable. No, yes, man. Like, yeah, because then she was wrong. Fuck her. No, she was right. I was wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
you need some pushback.
Yes, man. Yeah. So, you know, I just feel like all that is like with this circle of life, this circle of health, like our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health, nutritional health, the environment that we live in. I talk about this with my students all the time because I teach high school health and physical education. So I have like a 2 to 3 week lesson on emotional health and wellness. And you get a lot of my students getting real deep into, you know, what makes them go and what disturbs them, distracts them. And so, you know, having a balance, I think there needs to be a balance in that. Like, you need to balance how you eat healthy and balance when you exercise and have a balance on when you go see your therapist or talk to somebody about something, you know, getting out into the environment and nature and getting some fresh air and some vitamin D. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we tend to do in our community is we put more emphasis on 2 or 3 things and leave everything else for whatever. You know what I'm saying? So when we develop a balance, and that takes it, and that's a struggle. Rich was right. Like, Rich was right. That's a struggle for us to find balance, but that's the work every day.
Right.
That's your life. This is what you're working on every day. You know what I'm saying? Because as you find a balance in your life, you're gonna find balance in your social life, your family life, your work life. It's all going to. You will also see fruits of what you have planted because you're working on yourself. We got this whole thing right now called self-love. You know what I'm saying? It's been big now since the pandemic because we've been in the house for a year and a half and people getting divorced and married and killing it and getting rid of their husbands and wives and boyfriends and go, I couldn't wait this pandemic to get rid of this nigga.
Exactly. But Khalid, I definitely don't want to stop your flow. You know, I was letting you go because what you're saying, people really.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
No apologies needed. No apologies needed. What you're saying, people need to hear. You know, so that's why I wanted you. You know, I wanted you to get your piece off. You know, so we're not done. You know, but I greatly appreciate you sharing your personal story and your personal struggles. I had no idea that you went through what you went through, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, man. You know, so that's real. You probably, although we ain't seen each other in a minute or spoke to each other in a minute, you know, you just recently, you know, just re-linked back up. You know, but I remember Earl Boyd once saying, you know, it don't matter how long we go without seeing one another. As soon as we see one another, we just pick up where we left off.
I just saw him 2 days ago. I just saw him 2 days ago. I was at Jason's new spot, the Angry Jerk.
Angry Jerk.
Yeah.
I was there the other day. I got something there the other day.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Definitely glad you still here. But Nev, please get on up in here. My health is my wealth.
Yes, definitely. Health is wealth. Thank you for having me. Nice hearing from you, Khalid. Appreciate that talk. But health definitely is wealth, you know what I mean? But the problem in our world today is our health is affected by so many different directions, you know what I'm saying? So it could, like everybody was saying, food, your mental health, you know what I'm saying? Your relationship is a part of your health, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't have toxic people around you. That would take you to the anxiety and all those type mental health problems and stuff like that. So now you gotta have like you said, like Khalid just said, you gotta have balance with everything. You can't have too much of one thing. You can't have too much of food. You can't have too much of this, too much of that, because it's gonna skew your balance a little bit. So, you know, you gotta understand that the food that we eat affect everything about us. You know what I mean? Like, you have your meats that you eat or whatever. For people that's not vegan or whatever, you have your meats that you eat, and sometimes I hear that it depends how they kill the cow, if it's stressed the meat and this and that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that affects us like that, but that's something that we might need to pay attention to. You know what I mean? Because that might affect us in the long run. Because nowadays, something I've never used to hear about so much is about anxiety. And I see people walking around stressed out, worried about like small stuff, worried about small stuff that don't need to be worrying about, but they putting so much energy into it that now they tired all the time. Now they gotta go lay down because they putting their energy in the wrong place. You know what I mean? So,
right.
You know, so now, you know, but then you got to look at society as on a whole with the food they feeding us. Like a lot of the food they feed us, like Richard said, is sugar-based or it's corn-based. You know what I'm saying? This corn is just packing our systems up so much that we can't get it out. So it's hard of us to take care of our bodies with exercise and lose the weight or whatever the case may be, because that corn is that starch is sitting in it so stiff because everything is made by corn almost. You know what I mean? So you just gotta be careful with that too. So, you know, then you got the milk. You know what I'm saying? I don't drink milk. You know what I'm saying? I've just started drinking milk a little bit more since you got the almond milks and stuff like that. I never liked drinking cow milk because I never understood how cow milk would affect the human and stuff like that. So I was scared to do that. So I don't drink milk. You know what I mean? I might have some ice cream here and there, but when it comes to dairy, I don't drink milk. I don't do it because it just don't sound right how it's going to affect my body. And that's why they taught us a long time ago, you know, you got to have milk, got milk and all that type stuff of that cow milk. Right. And now you have so many people that's obese because they're drinking a milk that's made to grow a cow. You know what I'm saying? So right. So it's a very dangerous thing. You know what I mean? So you gotta be careful what they try. You gotta be careful what they trying to, you know, what they doing to us, giving us clone meat or whatever this processed meat is, and all these different things. So you gotta be conscious, period. You know what I mean, about everything that goes on in today's society, because a lot of it is being pushed on us. You know what I mean? It's being like, you know, you buying chicken tenders at 7-Eleven. You know what I mean?
Right.
How
guilty as charged.
I'm not judging nobody because I eat horribly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I eat great. I eat bad. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, I always wonder how can they get chicken to every single spot in the world. You know what I'm saying? With real chicken. You know what I'm saying? It seems impossible to me. You know what I mean? So I just always wondered, like, the beef and the this and that, like, where's it all coming from? Is it all real? Because I know they do clone meat nowadays and do clone vegetables and stuff like that. Now, is it real? You know what I'm saying? Is that affecting my health in different ways that I don't know about because they haven't studied these clone meats and these clone vegetables for 50, 30 years? I don't know. You know what I mean? So I just always try to be on the lookout for, you know, I just listen. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to hear Khalid speak because I know Khalid has changed himself a lot in the last few years. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I want to hear what Khalid said. I want to hear that type stuff because I need to get better. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You
know, fortunately, I have a great relationship with my wife where she takes off the stress off of me, so I don't stress as much. And so as a black man out here, I just, you know, I can, you know, stay away from the stress. But I noticed that she stresses. So now I got to try to help her deal with how she thinks about stuff. So, because she has the anxiety a lot and stuff like that. So it's all just, you know, you just got to think of helping each other and keeping that balance. You know what I'm saying? Like Fat said, I wish they taught us at a younger age about health. You know what I mean? But I'm not sure that society wants us to be that healthy. It's all on the individual thing. You gotta have that in yourself. Get your chakras aligned and get your shit together. You know what I mean? So you know, you just gotta do everything on your own nowadays and watch what's best for you and your family. Teach your kids to eat better, whatever, and not stress as much. You know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do to not stress. You know, stay away from the hard drugs or whatever you gotta do, the liquors and all that type stuff. And just try to find you a balance in life. You know what I mean? Something that makes you happy, something that makes you smile every day.
Facts. Hey, Yans, real quick, I do want you to get up in here and slide in like it's a pair of Gucci slippers. But before you do, you know, they have spoke on the fact, you know, of making, you know, trying to eat better. My son has Crohn's disease, which is a digestive disorder. You know, so he can't eat, you know, regular cheese, regular ice cream, macaroni and cheese, things of that nature. He has to drink soy milk and things of that nature. So with the different health challenges that he has with that, it's actually helped me eat better. Because instead of using regular butter, we use plant-based butter. You know, and basically just eating what he eat helps deter me away from the things I don't need to be eating. I've always been good with the exercise, but I've been bad with the diet. My mentality over the years has always been, okay, I can go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac, 2 large fries and some nuggets and a large soda. I work out.
No. Large soda, nothing. He go to the gas station and get the 2 liter. He get the 2 liter. He used
that too. Yeah.
2 liters.
That too, yeah. I'm known for the 2 liter sodas, drinking
that's
it
a meal
straight,
for the day.
Straight to the head.
You don't need to eat no more today.
The soda alone, the 2 liter alone.
Like 3,000 calories.
But
He used to murder them joints.
You know, my wife is an avid water drinker. You know, so she always on me about that. So, you know, I've also started drinking more water than I used to, you know. Try to water down some of that caffeine and juice and all that type of thing. But Yancy, like I said, Gucci slippers, slide on up in here, baby.
Thanks, Gemini. You know, brothers, I really don't have much to add because I think you guys hit on everything. I will say this from personal experience. I do know that weight plays a big part with a lot of things. And, you know, going back to what Khalid said, you know, once he started losing the weight, you saw the different, you know, he talked about the different levels within his body that started to go down. Myself, I struggle with anxiety. I take a medication to help with my anxiety, which manifests in the OCD. I take high cholesterol meds. You know, I'm diabetic number 2, so I take metformin. So I know there's some struggles out there, and I'm at the point now where I'm trying to do better. But the problem that I see and that I know that I have with myself is when we talked about the different stresses in life, whether it's relationship, whether it's career, whether it's friends, whether it's, you know, the world itself, food, for the most part, is the one thing we can control. Food is also an instant gratification for us. So I know when I'm stressed out, you guys know how much I love my Kit Kats. You know, I had to sit and eat a bag of Kit Kats. You know, or I go to McDonald's and get the, you know, I used to just do the 2 large fries when I was a kid, but I can eat a meal like Big Bro said, you know, so, but, you know, and then sometimes with me, I'll say, well, I'm taking the medicine. That's what the medicine's for. But the problem that I have is constantly staying motivated, because you can say, I'm going to do it for my family. I'm going to do it for the people I care about. You know, I'm going to do it for myself, but it's so hard to keep that consistency going. And you know that, and you know weight, you know, when I lost 40 pounds, I mean, I was breathing better. My A1C went down. You know, I wasn't feeling as anxious. But then I got complacent and was like, okay, I got this under control. I can have this or I can have that. And then one thing led to another thing led to the other. It's just, you know, it is that mindset. It really is a mindset. And I think going back to one thing that Khalid said, you know, that support structure, the people that you are around to help you. You know, Neville said he's got a great support system in his wife. I got a great support system with my wife. You know, it's just, but still, when that support system is not around, you still have to ultimately make the decision, because regardless of the situation, whether you can get certain food or you can get to, certain things, you still ultimately have to make that decision. Like Khalid said, you were basically at death's door, and Holiday said the same thing. Praise God, both you guys are still here. But ultimately, you had to make the decision to say, look, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and try to do better. Doesn't mean I'm going to be perfect at it, but it means I'm going to try and start to do better. And then once you make that decision, it's that consistency that is so tough, because let's face it, food is the one thing we all can control if you have access to it. That's the one thing you can control, because I think Nick said when you go to the grocery store, everything that's healthy is on the outer edge. It's also expensive. It's expensive to eat healthy. It's expensive to eat healthy. I know Shannon has started getting us to read the labels and to try to stay away from certain processed foods. But food is just a comfort. It's almost like the ultimate comfort, because when you're struggling or having a bad day and you come home, unless you already got your meals fixed or prepared, you want something quick and easy. What's quicker than easy than stopping off at the drive-thru? It's that instant gratification that we live in. But we all know food is, you got to watch what you eat. You got to exercise. Exercise is tough for me, guys. I've never been coordinated. I can make a few jump shots back in the 6th grade. I sprained my ankle, had an asthma attack, and it was all downhill from there. So,
we can get you right, yeah. So don't let that worry you.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just, it's difficult, but it's still a decision we have to ultimately decide to make to move in the right direction. And I think in schools, they do teach it. Remember when we were growing up, we had the pyramid, and Khalid, you probably can speak to that food pyramid, because I don't know if they made changes or if they flipped it upside down or whatever.
They did.
So, but let's face it, when we come back home, we ate what mom and dad said, this is what you got to eat. You know what I mean? And, my mom would do the vegetable things, but, the collard greens, turnip greens, salads and things like that. But, it's still the environment that you're used to, the comfort food, So, but again, we all have the ability to make that decision to try to do better. And sometimes, unfortunately, we need that come to Jesus moment. I think we had two right here in this segment with Holiday and with Khalid. But even at that moment, you had to make a decision. Like you said, Khalid, what do you mean? I'm leaving tomorrow. And they say, well, no, you're not. So that's something to think about while you're there. And you said when you got out, it was even tougher because of the weight, and it does make it tough.
Right, absolutely. I really appreciate that, Yance. Everybody has had very valid and interesting input on this particular topic, but I have a couple of questions for our special guest, Mr. Khalid Shakur. Khalid, in your professional opinion as a PT, what advice would you provide to men and women who are 40 plus who desire to try to lose belly fat?
So you can't just lose belly fat. It's not going to happen.
Right.
Like you got to that kills me. Like people like, man, I just want to lose this belly. I want to get this belly on. Okay, yes. I'm glad you have identified some areas of your body that you want to see improve. You want to see look better. But you have to train the entire body.
Okay.
You have to incorporate some cardio, whether that's walking around the block, jogging around the block, running around the block, doing some jump rope, getting in the treadmill, swimming, riding a bike. There's your cardio, right? Taking a hike in the woods, there's your cardio. Do it for at least 30 minutes. And you have to incorporate some resistance training so that you can see the muscle that you want to see. Now, you might not see a six-pack, but you will see a decrease. It all depends on your effort also. You will just see a decrease in, the belly fat, the neck rolls, the belly, the arm slabs, the excess weight around your thighs. The booty might jig a little bit too much for you, and that tighten up, right? So you definitely have to incorporate those two parts. And if you don't know, I encourage people to get a personal trainer. Just like you go to the barber and get your hair cut, and get your hair done, and the nail tech to get your nails done. You can't do that yourself. right? You need somebody professional to do it. Get a certified professional in your area, or somebody you trust, because you're about to share some very personal information with this person. And a good one is going to stay connected to you and, shoot you motivations and encourage you, shoot you motivational, have these motivational talk with you and encouragement so that you can stay on point.
I just want to thank one of our Squadcast listeners. Her name is Renee Saunders out of Chicago. She took the opportunity to email us at blackbrotherhoodsqc@yahoo.com. So that question came for her, Khalid. So greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hopefully that works out for you, Renee.
Yeah, thank you for reaching out, Renee.
Khalid, I got one more question for you.
Mm-hmm.
How has fitness training enhanced your overall lifestyle in regards to everyday life? Speak on the benefits or setbacks of exercise and diet adjustments.
So it's greatly impacted because like early on in my life, for my undergrad for health and wellness, and I studied under some great professionals, great professors at Howard. It allowed me to better understand how my body works and then how other people's body, and then because I understand how my body works, I was able to understand or try to give people the tools they need in order to make themselves a better version of themselves.
All right. Greatly appreciate that. Greatly appreciate it. Would anybody like to piggyback on that at all?
Not necessarily piggyback on that, but talk just more on the subject of how hard it is for times. Like you say, I believe Yancey touched on when you get to a certain point, you feel okay, you can cheat a little bit. But man, this thing is like drops in a bucket. It takes so long to get right and so easy to get off. To just man, you seem like you like you say, you consistent. Okay, I'm feeling good. Got my weight down, or even looking a little better. I'm gonna cheat a little bit, and then man, and then you don't. It's funny, you don't realize how much you're cheating until you're off track, and you look back like, damn, I did have a little sweets that day, a little more that day, and a little more, and then you find out, dang, I got way off track really. But you just think you just pinching a little bit or cheating a little bit, and then like you say, sometimes with it not being a scheduled thing, you just say, man, I'll exercise or whatever, without kind of scheduling it. You miss days. You don't get to it. And you say, okay, well, I've been exercising pretty much. I can miss a day, and a day becomes another day, and next thing you know, you're off track with that. It's funny. So for me, I'm down mostly because of diabetes, not necessarily my work ethic. I'm down to $197. I know physically I'm not great because me now, and man, it hasn't been this bad since junior high school, where 10 push-ups is max, buddy. I need a break. Yeah, I gotta hold up. Cause I'm not gonna make it back up on that. When I go for 11, I get like halfway. I can't. It ain't working.
I'm right there with you, brother.
You gotta do it every day.
10 is max.
You gotta do it every day. The one thing you said though, is it's hard, right? It's very, very hard. And I get this all the time. It's so hard to stay focused. It's a lifestyle change, right? You have to put it into your mind, okay, that I have to do this forever.
Okay.
And it's forever. It's a lifestyle. Yeah. I have to do this forever. I'm not gonna do it for 3 months so I can lose this weight, or 6 months so I can do a year. That's forever. Especially for those people like yourself who may have diabetes. Who has diabetes, you're definitely going to have to make a lifestyle change to get your numbers down and get your weight down and feel better about yourself. Now, to talk about the cheat days, right?
Yeah.
Cheat. Eat what you want, right? But don't make it a habit, because you've made a lifestyle change now, right? Your lifestyle change. I'm not eating Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King 5 days a week, right? I may eat it 2 days a week now.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let me ask y'all and all y'all, but Khalid especially, So the problem is, I'm good with that, man. I can't eat McDonald's because I must read that over the toilet. It's running right through. So I'm good with that. I don't eat a lot of the deli meats because me personally, I've cooked a lot of turkey and I've never seen a turkey breast look like that. Turkey I cook, so I don't mess with that stuff. So
that goes back to what Nev was saying.
I'm good. I'm good with stuff like that. But the problem is now I don't really eat. I'm like a meal and a half a day, and that's a lot of times because I force myself, like, man, I gotta eat something. Or my wife's telling me, like, yeah, I'm eating all day. And I'm like, damn, you're right. I haven't even thought about it. It just sometimes go, and then I know when I do eat, like you say, because you're just grabbing something to eat, I don't get the vegetables I need. So it's not right for me. You know?
Right.
Yeah, I would say, because I had that problem too. I don't eat a lot either, so I just think I just don't eat a lot. So I usually eat small portions, and if I eat big, I'll probably maybe get 1, maybe 2 meals in a day. But when I am eating good, I try to eat 5 to 6 times a day, and I eat it small. I just eat a little bit and try to I kind of bring my food with me. So yeah,
that's what they told me I'm supposed to do.
I try to have the food accessible to me of what I'm going to eat all day long when I'm trying to eat good. So that way I don't have to worry about what I'm going to eat. I already know what I'm going to eat at 3. I already know when I'm going to eat at 5 or 6. So that's a good way of not having to worry about what you're going to eat and then getting used to eating whatever it is you want to eat that's healthy, because there's a lot of healthy food that you can eat. You don't have to eat the same healthy food that everybody else is eating. You just got to find healthy food that you like.
I replace chips with nuts. I keep nuts and stuff with me. So like you say, you get a little craving. I eat them instead of chips and stuff. But the problem is
we're talking meals. So we're talking
that's
meals.
the problem. I eat the nuts all day and I won't eat no damn meal. That's
right,
the
but then it also could be other things you're doing. Like with me, when I don't eat good, which I'm not doing right now, is I drink a lot of sodas because I drive a lot and I'm on the road. So when I ain't had a soda in 4 years. It could be something outside of that. Like with me, I know it's the soda. So if I cut back on sodas and I start exercising, once I start doing that, I start eating more because I'm exercising, for one. And then 2, I'm not drinking sodas, which fills me up. So it could be something else. It could be something else you're doing, like in your lifestyle condition, which is not making you want to eat. Like you said, not working out is part of that.
Right.
It's also to the point, real quick. It's also to the point where you made the point, like you drink the sodas, and Rich has replaced the chips with the nuts. So we have these tastes that we like, right? We have these salty tastes and these sweet tastes that we like, and we fill these likes of these tastes with sugar, sodas, sweet, salty stuff with chips and stuff like that, right? But once you are able to find an alternative replacement for those things, maybe with some lightly salted nuts, or say a soda, a soda with, not even a soda, but something that doesn't have any sugar in it, which is kind of hard to find because there's everything has sugar. Everything got sugar, even ketchup got sugar.
They put a bunch of sports drinks on the shelf.
Yeah,
right.
but that's when you have to start reading the labels to see what the grams of sugar is for whatever you're drinking. Now, understand that if you're drinking a soda, that's gonna be like 65 to 70 grams of sugar, which is death in a bottle. So you want to stay away from that and just and definitely fill up on get your hydration from your water. But those tastes are what we're looking at. My point is, the tastes are what we're looking to satisfy when we're eating the chips, or we're drinking sugary drinks, right? So we have to find alternatives to that. Find like a healthier option to the sugar. Maybe it might be, in the summertime, a peach or an orange or some dried fruit or something like that, like some pineapples or some papaya or something like that. Something to satisfy that taste. And then with all the as far as eating, planning, you have to plan that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to think of like, okay, where I'm going to be. If I'm going to be out and about in my travels and running my errands, I'm gonna be in this area. I can stop at this place. I can stop at that place. I can't stop there. I can't stop there. You know, you got to be able to get your proper balance of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats in so that you can feel filled and nourished.
All right, to end this off, fellas. Once again, everybody did a wonderful job, man. You know, we could go on for hours, but you know, we gotta keep it flowing. Just to end this off, Nev had mentioned earlier about the foods that we eat. Basically, if you eating meats, for example, from an animal who experienced stress or went under stress when it was being slaughtered, that stress transfers into you. Mm-hmm. And as soon as he said that reminded me, took me back to 1990 when KRS-One released a song called Beef. So I just wanted to read off a few lines from it. It says, "Come on now, man, let's be for real. You are what you eat, is the way I feel. But the Food and Drug Administration will tell you that meat is the perfect combination. See, cows live under fear and stress, trying to think what's going to happen next. Fear and stress can become a part of you, in your cells and blood. This is true. So when the cow is killed, believe it. You preserve those cells. You freeze it. Throw it out with the blood and season it. Then you sit down and begin eating it. In your body, its structure becomes your structure. All the fear and stress of another. Any drug is addictive by any name. Even drugs and meat, they are the same. The FDA has America strung out on drugs and beef, no doubt. So if you think that what I'm saying is a bunch of crock, tell yourself you're going to try and stop eating meat, and you'll see you can't compete. It's the #1 drug on the street. Not crack, because that was made for just black, but brown beef for all American teeth. Life brings life and death brings death. Keep on eating the dead and what's left. Absolute disease and negative. Read the book, How to Eat to Live, by Elijah Muhammad. It's a brown paperback for anybody, either white or black. See, how many cows must be pumped up fatter? How many rats gotta fall in the batter? How many chickens that eat shit you eat? How much high blood pressure you get from pig feet? So you consume, the FDA could care less. They'll sell you donkey meat and say it's fresh for $19.90. You suckers.
You suckers.
Damn. I gotta go back and get KRS-One Essential.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. That's on the Edutainment album, 1990. Edutainment.
Khalid, thank you so much, brother. Proud of you, man. Love you, brother.
Thank you, Yanks. I love you too, man. Appreciate it.
Yes,
all right, ready when you are, dog.
Yo, my name is Khalid Shakur. I have had the honor of being on the Black Brotherhood podcast. Definitely check these brothers out. They have, they are very opinionated and have a bunch of interesting thoughts on various topics. I'm a personal trainer, so I have my own personal training business, Hard to Guard Athletic Performance. So if you are looking to be the best version or better version of yourself, then I'm your guy to help you, learn and understand how to eat healthy and also how to train your body in a better way.
Greatly appreciate it. Well done. All right, man, you take care of yourself, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the behalf of the Black Brotherhood Squadcast, I am DJ Gemini. We'd like to thank our special guest, Khalid Shakur. If you would like to be personally trained by Khalid, you can reach him on Instagram at @the_real_Khalid_Shakur. Once again, that's at @the_real_Khalid. That's KHALID_Shakur. SHAKUR. Thanks to my brothers Nev, Magic, Yancey and Holiday, BBSQC. We see y'all next time. Squad up. Attention all Black Brotherhood Squadcast listeners. I am your host and moderator, DJ Gemini. I cannot stress enough how important it is for y'all to log on to IG. Follow us at the Black Brotherhood Squadcast. That's at the Black Brotherhood Squadcast on Instagram. Follow us, you know what I mean? See what we had going on, see what we got going on, and see what we will have going on. Also, if y'all got any topics y'all want us to flip the script on, hit us up at blackbrotherhoodsqc@yahoo.com. That's blackbrotherhoodsqc@yahoo.com. I'm DJ Gemini, baby, for the Black Brotherhood Squadcast. Let's get back to the shizzo.